Right off the top, we are getting to breaking news. Good morning, everyone. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. So right now, Highway 2 between Spotted and Flint Roads is shut down at this moment due to a deadly crash. Our Nicole Hernandez is live there at the scene. You can see from this traffic camera shot right here how many of the law enforcement vehicles are still out there on the scene right now. Nicole, you've been working to gather information for us. What can you share?
Yeah, Channing, Tim. So the road here still closed, Highway 2 in both directions, and Spokane Police Department is who's investigating this crash. WSP, Washington State Patrol, is who ultimately said that this crash is fatal, but we can't actually see the crash from where we're at this point. So take a look behind me here. You can see the roadblock. You can see cars detouring off of Highway 2. Again, Highway 2 closed in both directions, like you mentioned, between Flint and Spotted Road. Just for some perspective, that's between Longhorn Barbecue and where you get off to take the exit for the Spokane International Airport. Take a look at this map here. This is kind of a look at exactly where this crash is, kind of on a map overlook there. Again, both directions here closed and have been for a couple of hours now. We don't know at this point when the road will reopen. Again, this is an active investigation. Spokane Police Department currently working to figure out what led to this crash here. We can't see what's going on there. We are again at that roadblock here, and so far traffic hasn't been too bad here, but even when we were making our way to the Longhorn Barbecue parking lot here along Spotted Road, there was definitely a good amount of traffic. Now most of that detour has moved its way to Flint Road. Either way, whichever direction you end up coming from, whether it be eastbound or westbound, you are going to be rerouted, taken on a detour through Airport Way. So just so you know, if you are headed that direction, give yourself that extra time to deal with that detour. And as for information on the actual crash, we will make sure to bring that to you as soon as Spokane Police Department releases any information. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Time is now 6:02 on this Wednesday morning, where there is some snow showers for the inland Northwest, and this is the very last of the precipitation we'll see for the rest of this week. So just give it a couple more hours this morning. As we look at Doppler radar right now, looks like most of the snow is going to stay north of Coeur d'Alene. This batch of darker blue that you see, especially between Spirit Lake and Athol and then eastward, that's where most of the snow is falling. But I would not be surprised if there are some flurries elsewhere across Spokane County, but it looks like the activity is far fewer and far between. In fact, here at our South Hill studios, it's already mostly clear. So it's a pretty fine line between who's getting snowfall, mainly in North Idaho, but that will end during the morning hours. The rest of the day, midday and afternoon, mostly sunny everywhere for the inland Northwest, with our high temperatures still topping out at around 49 degrees.
Well, it is official. The 2024 presidential election is going to be a rematch of 4 years ago. Last night's primary in Washington put former President Donald Trump over the top, as he has now secured enough delegates to be the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party for the third time in a row.
Before Washington's results came in, President Biden also secured enough delegates to be the Democratic Party's presumptive nominee. So let's take a look at where Washington's results stand as of this morning. Biden secured Washington's delegates with about 87% of the votes. There was a last-minute push on social media for Democrats to select the uncommitted candidate option to protest Biden's support of Israel's actions in Gaza. It had some impact, with about 8% of voters in the state choosing to vote uncommitted.
And we're just thrilled that people felt that they could participate in our primary and be able to, utilize this process as a way to get their voices heard. And, we were happy to see that there was engagement in all parts of our party.
On the Republican side of things, former President Trump secured his nomination, getting 74% of the vote here in Washington. Nikki Haley did hold on to about 22%. Republican State Chair Jim Walsh says the focus for Republicans in the state is now on those who didn't vote for former President Trump or those who didn't vote at all.
Trump is going to continue to talk about immigration and border security and the general economy and crime, essential basic policy issues that I think will talk to that large middle.
While Biden and Trump are the two presumptive nominees, several other states still need to hold their primaries, including Florida, Illinois, and Ohio. We're also approaching the conventions for both parties. That's when both Trump and Biden are expected to officially be named their party's candidates. The Republican National Convention is in July in Milwaukee, and the Democratic National Convention follows right after in August in Chicago.
Well, today the EWU women's basketball team has a chance to make history as they play for the Big Sky Conference title after winning their semifinals game against Montana State.
A win today would give the women their first ever ticket to the big dance. KREM 2's Mike Boyle joins us now with all the best moments from last night's game and tells us how they're preparing for their next opponent.
1 down, 2 to go. For the Eastern Eagles women's basketball team, they stood 2 steps for making history as they hope to make their first NCAA basketball tournament. Eastern with a stern task in today's semifinal as they took on a Montana State team that handed Jody Gleason's Eags their only home loss of the year. Jaleesa Lawrence from nearby Meridian hits the 3 to get the Eags out to the early lead Boise. Working the ball down low to former LC Tiger Jacinta Buckley. Eastern down by 1 at the end of the first, though. Bobcats getting a nice move here from Madison Hall. Montana State up by 3, but the Eags would then go on a huge 16-2 run to end the half. Buckley would cap it with this 3. She had 9 at the break. Eastern up 28-17 at half. Second half player of the year, Jamie Loretta, 3 of her 12 points. Also had 8 assists as the Eags up 10. Aaliyah Alexander, a double-double, 10 points, 10 boards, keeps Eastern up by double digits. Loretta from Moses Lake finding Jaleesa Lawrence on a great feed. She had 9. Eags never threatened after that as they get some great ball movement on this next play. Buckley had a game-high 16. For the first time in 5 years, Eastern moving on to the Big Sky Championship game with a 56-39 victory. The Eagles will now face Northern Arizona in the final. That's a look at sports.
The Idaho Supreme Court has denied Brian Kohberger's motion for permission to appeal a court decision. Kohberger is the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students in 2022. His defense filed a motion last week asking for permission to appeal the district court's decision not to toss his grand jury indictment. But the Idaho Supreme Court says it will not hear their appeal. Kohberger will be back in court next month for a hearing to move his trial out of Latah County.
This morning, we are a little bit more than 1 month away from taxes being due. Washington is one of 12 states participating in a pilot program for a new free tax filing program from the IRS. It's called Direct File. The software was designed as an alternative to private tax preparation services like H&R Block and TurboTax. An estimated 1 million Washington taxpayers who meet certain income requirements are eligible for the program.
Many taxpayers have indicated that a primary way that you can help make it easier is to offer a free direct option with the IRS online. And so this is us moving in the direction of what we're hearing from taxpayers to help make it easier.
Direct File is available to be used now with taxes due on April 15th. This pilot will help the IRS determine whether it is feasible to offer a government-run tax filing system nationwide.
Another check of weather this morning where we're keeping an eye on any snowfall for the inland Northwest. It's mainly in North Idaho, but still not even in Coeur d'Alene just yet. That live picture you see there, I don't see any snowflakes. I don't see any leftover snow on the ground, but it is nearby. If you're traveling northward along Highway 95, you will run into some snowfall. Current temperature at 30 in Spokane and 32 in Coeur d'Alene. Here's Doppler radar. You can see that dark blue shade that's over Athol and Spirit Lake. You can follow that all the way up to Sandpoint. So travelers along Highway 95 should take it cautiously because there is some snow on the roads, which would make things a little bit slippery for this morning. So there's your word of caution. Current temperature is 32 in Coeur d'Alene and Sandpoint. Again, the snow is sticking to the ground there at the moment. So I put that in the forecast. Just one snow icon early this morning, but it's gone by the afternoon, and we are still on for a mostly sunny day today, and then tomorrow, and then Friday, and then both days this weekend as temperatures easily climb into the 60s by Saturday.